Warm greeting to all. I am Divya from CSE department and working as an assistant professor in Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology. Now I talk about the topic of intrusion detection and prevention system in ethical hacking. First one, what is meant by intruders? They have the unauthorized person, they have to accessing the information from system, computer or network. These are called the intruders, hackers or crackers. These also involved in the terms of CERT, Computer Emergency and Response Team. Different types of intruders are masquerader, mispeacer, clandestine user and PERT. First one, masquerader. What is meant by masquerader? The one entity, it's pretend to the another entity. They also inside the attacks of the system, it refers. Next one, mispeacer. Mispeacer means we have to misuse his or her system privileges. They also present in outside of the system. It's called the mispeacer. Next one, the clandestine user. What is meant by clandestine user? We have to inside of the attacks and outside of attacks of the system is called the clandestine user. Finally, it involved in the techniques are PERT. PERT means program emergency and reviewing techniques. These are all the intruders are present in. Next one, intrusion techniques. What is meant by intrusion techniques? Intrusion techniques, its basic aim is to increase the privilege of the system. How do we increase the privilege of the system? They are also having the basic attack methodologies are there. First one, the target acquisition and information gathering. It is on reconnaissance phase or preparatory phase. It is on initial phase of an attackers of the system. Second one, initial access. How do we grant access? User get the access from the initial system. Next one, privilege escalation. Privileges mean we have to find the suspicious activities. They have to find. This is called the privilege escalation. Next one, covering tracks. It is on final phase of an attacker system. Next one, what are the techniques are involved in it? One-way function and access control. What is one-way function? User have entered our username and password. This is the one-way function. Next one, the access control. What is meant by access control? We have the access rights from the particular user. Particular user means we have to using the password. How do we use password? All the possible passwords and default passwords. We are all using that passwords. This is called the access control. Next one, intrusion detection system. Intrusion techniques are basically two: intrusion detection and intrusion prevention. What is intrusion detection system? First, we have to the intruder can be identified. After the identification, we have to eject from the system before any damage can be done. This is called the intrusion detection system. Intrusion detection system basic principles are intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system. The basic approach is what? Statistical anomaly detection and rule based intrusion detection. Statistical anomaly detection. What is meant by statistical anomaly detection? We have to find the suspicious activity, unwanted activity of the behavior. There may be present or not. This is called the statistical anomaly detection. It consists of two levels: threshold detection and profile based intrusion detection system. Threshold means we have to define the threshold level and we have to set the boundary limit. This is called the threshold based intrusion detection system. Second one is profile based. Profile based means we have to develop the profile activity of each behavior of an intruder. This is called the profile based system. Next one, rule based intrusion detection system. What is meant by rule based? We have to defining the set of the rules, that the set of rule is applied. They also find the suspicious activities or behavior. This is called the rule based intrusion detection system. They also having the two techniques: rule based anomaly detection and rule based penetration identification. Rule based anomaly detection. What is meant by anomaly detection? We have to find the suspicious or unwanted activities of behavior. This is called the rule based anomaly detection. What is meant by penetration identification? It is an expert system. They can using these technologies for finally improve the suspicious activities of one behavior. Next one. First one, the audit records. What is meant by audit record? It is the fundamental tools for the intrusion detection system. Each intrusion detection system has two formats. Audit records that having the Navy audit records and detection specific audit records. What is meant by Navy audit records? It's a fundamental tool for all the intrusion detection system. It also used in multi-user OS system. Detection specific audit records, it's also used in desired format can be used. This is the detection specific audit record system. Next one, audit records. They having the variety of fields. What are the fields are there presented? First one, the subject. Subject means we have to initiator of an object. Next one, action. Action means what action we have to be performed. This is called the action. Next one, object. Object is created by the user of an object. Next one, exception condition. When the exception condition can be acquired, that condition is referred exception condition. Resource usage. Which resources are used? Internal or external? Both the resources are used. Finally, timestamp. We have to attach with the duration of the time. These are all the fields are represented in audit records. Audit records is the fundamental tool for identifying the intrusion detection system. Next one, statistical anomaly detection. Statistical anomaly detection, they having two techniques. One, threshold based. Second one is profile based. Threshold based means we have to already define the boundary limit and we have to find the activities of behavior of the system. Second one, profile based. Profile based means we have to develop the profile activity of each behavior of the system. Next one, audit record analysis. How do we analyze? Audit record is a fundamental tool for intrusion detection system. How do we can analyze? Audit records, they having the fields are name, subject, action, object, exception condition. More than fields are there. How do we can be analyzed? After analyzing, we have to use metrics or some used. Which type of metrics used? Counter, cause, interval timer and resource usage. Finally, it analyze the variables. How do we can analyze the variables? How do we can apply the variable to techniques? Mean and standard deviation, multivariate, Markov process, time series and operational model. These are all applied for the audit record analysis process. Analysis means we have to metrics over the time period. We have to analyze the fields are fully metrically measured. Next one, rule based intrusion detection system. What is mean by rule based detection? Already we have defined a set of rules and we have to find that activity is suspicious activity, we have to be find. This is called the rule based detection. They also having two fields, rule based penetration identification and rule based anomaly. Anomaly means we have to find the suspicious activities of behavior or unwanted activities of behavior present or not. Second one is intrusion identification, penetration identification rule based. It uses the expert system technology. Expert system technology means we have to apply it in all the fields. These are also analyzed in audit record system. Next one, base rate fallacy. What is mean by fallacy? It gives an false alarm rate. Each unacceptable level, it gives some already false alarm rate will be provided. This is called the base rate fallacy. It also provides the false sense of security. Next one, DID, distributed intrusion detection system. How do we analyze the system? All the intrusions are coordination and cooperation, all are involved in this system. This is called the DID system, distributed intrusion detection system. It also having some of the issues are there, dealing with varying audit record formats. Audit record formats, some audit records they are having only analyzing the action object. Some fields also analyzing the exception condition and error usage and resource usage. So, it also dealing variety of audit record analysis. Integrity and confidentiality of network data. What is mean by integrity? How the user can upload the data send in correct format. They cannot be altered. This is called the integrity. What is mean by confidentiality? It is the secret information. This is the confidential information we have to be uploaded. This is called the confidentiality of the network data. Third one, centralized or decentralized architecture. They are also having some of the issues involved in DID system. Next one, DID system. How they can be connected? LAN connection is connected to the WAN through the router that also connect the LAN and WAN. LAN they can analyze the LAN monitor, host and agent module. WAN they can analyzing the manager model. Every agent module they have sent the query to WAN manager model. Manager they have analyzing all the purpose and finally they have to retrieving the query, then finally they have to update the query response to agent model. Every time they have send the query to manager module, manager they have to send the response to agent. This is the distributed intrusion detection system, because they are also involved in coordination and cooperation. They are also involved in the intrusion detection system. Next one, NIDS system implementation. How do we can implement? Basically we have to collect the audit information. They are also stored in auditing records. Audit records is also contain several type of fields, and basically they having Navy audit records and detection specific audit records. Navy audit records we have to alter, we have not desired form, we have not be used. That is called the Navy audit records, and detection specific audit records in desired form we have to be used in this format. Then it is called the detection specific audit records. Each audit records are analyzed and metrics in particular over the period of time. Audit records they also having the different types of fields and resource condition, and finally they having time stamp and duration of time they can be updated. These all the fields are stored in host host auditing record. Finally they have to applying some interpretational logic that can be analyzed. Applying the logic they have to send it to the templates. Each templates are separated by the signatures. Agent module they have to send the query response to the central manager. Central manager finally they have to analyzing, and finally whole update sent to the agent protocols and agent modules. This is the distributed intrusion detection system. The basic concept of NIDS system is coordination and cooperations. They can be among all the intrusion. This is called a NIDS system. Next one, honeypots. What is mean by honeypots? These are all the decoy system. These are designed for to lure the potential attackers of the system. Attackers also past, present in the full of the system. They also encourage the attackers fully stay on the system. It collects the informations about the attacker's activity. These are called the honeypots. Honeypots they can divert an attacker from accessing the informations. Next one, password management. What is mean by password management? It is the first frontline defense against on intruders. Intruders means unauthorized person. They have to accessing the information without the authority and responsibility and without the permission. We have to accessing the whole detailed information. That is called the intruders, hackers or crackers. In the if of intruders, we have to, how do we protect our system? First, the user supply login and password, one time login and one time password. For password we have to use try all default password or all possible combination of passwords, they can be used for this. Next one, password it must be encrypted format, they can be stored. They are using multiple DES. DES means data encryption standard. Their also input is 64-bit block and it is using 56-bit key. That is called the DES. All the password that encryption they are using DES. Next one, managing the password. How do we can manage the password? First we have to know about the education, user education about the passwords. Need policies and good user education. They have to be needed to us. Ensure every account has a default passwords. Basically the password, good password that contains minimum 6 character length, maximum greater than 6. They also contains the letters of uppercase, lowercase and some type of variable symbols we have been used for the password protections. Next one, managing the passwords. How do we can managing the password? First we have to managing the password. First we have to know about the user education system. How do we can provide the password? How do we can default password? How do we can recover from failure of attempts? It may reactively run password guessing tools. This also used for that. it be aware of social engineering attacks. Just suppose the balance requirements with user acceptance. Anytime user they have to enter to the system, sometimes there can be failure that can be attempt acquired, then we can use the alternative choice. Next one, proactive password checking. What is mean by proactive password checking? It is also the password guessing techniques or password guessing tools. They are also analyzing the user education. We have to analyze all the possible combination of passwords we can be used, and we have to provide the enhanced security to the system. Then we have to advanced enhanced security provided in ethical hacking. Most promising approach to improving the password security, and it allows user to select own password. Own password we have to select multiple time, we have to use any type of password we have to use, but have system verify it's acceptable. Suppose simple rule enforcement techniques it's also used. It compare against all multiple bad against the bad passwords. It using the algorithm. What type of algorithm they can be used? The mathematical related algorithm, Markov model or Bloom filter. They are also used to detect the poor choices of passwords. These are all the fully involved in the intrusion detection and intrusion prevention system. Basically, intrusion means the hacking. How do we identify the hacking system? First we can identify and we can eject it before any damage it can be done to the system. This is called the intrusion detection system. After identifying, how do we can recover? We have used good user education about the password, and we have to pass all possible combination of password, and we have to provide additional necessary details of on privilege of system. These are all involved in intrusion detection system. Thank you.